Hi, this is Anita from 5 Minutes with Art. Today I want to talk about how art is changing the digital age, or how technology is changing creativity. It used to be that art was mainly about oil paints, brushes, and canvas. But these were the techniques that were passed down from the apprenticeship to the master and required years of dedication. But while these traditional methods are still out there, but they no longer define the boundaries of what art can be. The rise of digital tools has opened a new dimension of expression. Programs like Procreate, Adobe Photoshop, Clip Studio Paint, and Corel Draw, just to name some of them, have allowed artists to sketch, paint, animate, and design all on one device. I myself personally use Procreate quite a bit. I love Procreate. I think it's a great tool for any type of artist. It's a just a really a wonderful tool that has a lot of great functions to it. So if you're an artist, try it out. But these platforms, have changed art in many different ways. Digital art is not just a new medium, it's an entirely new way of thinking about creation. It's flexible, fast, and accessible. Artists can experiment without the fear of wasting materials. They can collaborate in real time across continents. They can distribute their work instantly through online platforms. There's lots of online galleries now in places where artists can show their work digitally. And there's lots of social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok, which have also changed this. Digital tools allow experimentation that was previously impossible. I'd say sometimes when I paint, I will take a photo of the painting, and then if I want to change something, then I will do it digitally online and see, do I like this color? Do I want to change this? And then then I change it. So it saves you some steps on the canvas itself. Another thing which is changing art is AI and creativity is a whole new frontier. This is also one of the most controversial and exciting developments in the art world is AI generated art. I've actually used this quite a bit too, where I may have an AI generated art and then I will add layer and canvas on top of the art and work with the art itself. AI doesn't necessarily replace creativity, but it's reshaping it. Artists can use AI to brainstorm concepts. They can generate textures, experiment with compositions, and even collaborate with algorithms to produce hybrid works. It's important to note that technology doesn't exist in a vacuum. These AI tools rely on human input and vision. So the best AI art comes from artists who treat the machine as a tool and not a replacement. And when you look at AI art, you can really tell that it's AI generated. That's been my own experience with it. You can see that it's been an AI sort of generated piece of art. But when an artist takes an AI image and then builds upon that image and puts hand painting on top of it, it can be very hard to tell whether that has been hand painted or AI generated. Technology is changing for things like it's pushing these new boundaries and environments like virtual reality, augmented reality, are becoming creative playgrounds for artists. That there's lots of like 3D spaces, you can surround yourself with your work. There's lots of ways that 3D and art and digital is being used. I think one of the great ways that I saw this was when I went to see Van Gogh immersive experience, which was called Beyond Van Gogh. And it was so fabulous to be in this immersive experience and to be within Van Gogh's world, where it was on the floor, it was on the walls, it was basically everywhere. You felt you were within the painting itself. That, of course, is another way that is all changing art, and will probably be changing museums as we get going, that this is all going to change how art is being done. So whether we like it or not, anyone with a smartphone or a tablet can start creating. Procreate, for instance, has become a favorite tool among beginners and professionals due to the intuitive interface and how inexpensive it is. You pay one time like about $10, and then you can always use it. It's if you have an iPad and a pencil, you can sketch and you can use Procreate. There's lots of YouTube tutorials, online courses. More now than ever, you can be a self-taught artist. You don't necessarily have to go to school and get a master's to be able to do it. That, many people, it's become more of an equalizer, this whole digital type of platform. And so this brings more voices into the art world. It also brings a lot of challenges too. That, rising technology isn't without complications to it too. Questions about authorship, originality, and copyright, are front and center with all of this. I've written a blog post on this, if you're interested in this, how, art in the digital age, how to transforming creativity. I really believe that we're going to see a lot more of this as we keep going into this AI generated type of world. That we're going to see a lot more of this art and creativity and technology all being merged together. We're going to see different types of art forms. I personally am a fan of that, but there's some people that are going to love more the traditional, art forms of the oil paints or the watercolors. But that's one of the beauty of art, is that not everybody's going to always like everything. And that, I really believe, is the beauty of art itself, that not everyone appreciates maybe art the same way. Some people love art in one way, but they may not love another type of art. And some people might be a great fan of modern art or digital art, but not a great fan of some of the old masters. That's the beauty of art. It's something which is within you that you can have your own opinion about it. This is Anita from 5 Minutes with Art. Thank you so much for listening. We certainly do appreciate you. And we hope that you'll join with us and become part of our community as we explore art together. Thank you.